Hello everyone. Recently I have tried really hard to reduce the number of series I'm in the middle of by continuing them and finishing them. Now in this video, I do continue one series and I finish another. I do in fact start a series, however this is a series that I wanted to start for a very long time. I think it's going to be okay because we finished one, so PEDMAS or whatever it is, I don't know. In today's video, we read three very popular series. The Zodiac Academy, book one. Oh, there's no the in front of it. Okay, we'll just Zodiac Academy. The Awakening. This was the series that we did begin. And is this book like a 50 book series? Yes it is, but that's okay. We continued Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And then we finished this Powerless trilogy. Now technically, there may be a few more spin-offs, I believe, maybe a few more novellas, but the like core three books. Oh, there's also that other novella. I actually did like that, but whatever. I finished this trilogy, the original trilogy. I don't know. Also with Fearless, I do have like a little spoiler section at the end because I did want to, you know, I have some things to discuss. So that will be at the very end, so don't have to worry about being like spoiled in between. Whatever. Okay, if any of those sound interesting and you want to hear what I have to say about them or like what my thoughts are, then definitely keep watching. I kind of just like go immediately into this and I don't really explain anything. So we're starting off with Fearless because that was very anticipated and I really badly wanted to read it. So yeah, starting off with Fearless. I feel like this color is the vibe, but also I feel like it's too early in the video to just have me be pink or purple. So I'm up to chapter 34 in Fearless, the third book. Well, a trilogy, but there's also that little novella. However, I'm up to Fearless, and guys, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I'm just reading it, and I'm just like, I don't care. Am I crooked? I think I could have fixed it, but I'm literally reading this and I'm just like, but I don't care for a number of reasons, and I'm going to explain why. I think the main one is just that this world is, in my opinion, explained horrendously. They will be in situations, they will be in places, and the premise sounds cool, but there will be no descriptions of what anything looks like. Maybe that's my fault for, you know, liking a little bit of description about like the places they're inhabiting, the places they're going, but there's just nothing. Like, for example, I don't want to spoil anything, but they're in this kingdom, right? There's a queen. I'm crooked. Really, all I'm asking is that we get a better look at what the world looks like, because yes, they're in this kingdom place and it just jumps, you know, they're talking to this queen person, okay? Peyton and then someone else, they're talking to this queen person, and then it just like jumps and then she's in her room. And I'm like, well, can we get like a little look around maybe? No? Also, I want to preface, I went into this book knowing absolutely nothing. I don't have any expectation of this. I still don't, because I have been avoiding anyone's opinions on this book literally like the plague. I've not seen a single person say anything about this book. I don't know whether people are giving it 5 stars or 1 star, 3 stars, you know, in the middle. I don't know anything because I've been avoiding it so much because Reckless, the ending, got spoiled for me literally either the day of or like, I don't know, I just got spoiled so quickly. So I want to read this quite soon because I would like to start knowing what other people are thinking about it. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm going to tell you about them because like I said, I'm like halfway through and I've been kind of collating my thoughts. You know, I've been underlining, not highlighting, I don't highlight because I just feel like it will just bleed through. I've tried to highlight one thing before and it literally bled through. So I'm like, okay, well, if there are any highlighters that will not bleed through, I may invest in them because I just think that it looks pretty rather than just like a random line underneath. But there's lots of, you know, sharp, snappy lines. Reckless did end on a cliffhanger, and I do like that this book picks up immediately afterwards. I like that there wasn't some outrageous time jump because I have read books in the past where something, you know, crazy has been revealed and then there's just a time jump. And I'm like, hang on a second. So I like that it literally picked up like immediately afterwards. Surprisingly, everything came rushing back as soon as I started reading this. There were specific plot points, kind of small ones that I thought that I would have forgotten or just wouldn't have picked up, but no, it just all came rushing back. Like, there were details in the book when I'm reading, and you know, they've switched back my mind because obviously they're not like major, and I'm like, wait, and obviously these are points that like they don't affect anything really. It's just little like, oh sweet, you know? Now, a criticism that I had with Reckless was that there was a very pivotal character in Powerless, and very pivotal for Peyton, you know? And in Reckless, they were just like not in it at all. And I was like, hang on a second, did we just forget that this person was even, in fact, a character? However, especially at the start, it was redeemed because this character was mentioned and referred to quite a lot. I definitely just think it either was a choice made by the author to show Peyton's mental state. You know, maybe in the second one, the reason why everything unfolded was very purposeful, and then now, you know, things because because her mental state hasn't really like improved. Well, I guess her mental state has improved. She kind of had that breakdown in Reckless. Okay, wait, it wasn't okay. This is very hard because I did full spoilers when I first read this, and like this one is just haven't really been, because I feel like maybe a lot of other people had that criticism. Did a lot of other people? I know that I did. So maybe the author heard that and was like, oh wait, let's put the character actually in this because this character is really pivotal for Peyton. You know? Yeah, but there are lots of like short, snappy lines. There are some things that like I'm not underlining because I'm not underlining because I don't want to, but they could, like, if it was a bit longer. It's not like we're getting slabs of just beautiful prose and you're like, I just want to revisit this. I want to basically to live inside these words because they're so beautiful and amazing. You don't get that here. Okay, you know, but you know, there are some like really nice like short snappy lines. There is, you know, I wish, okay, this is my fault for literally going from Jane Eyre and A Tale of Two Cities to this, because in those there are such beautiful descriptions of the landscape, of the world, of just basically where the people are. And I love it. Do I need to get the book down? Do I need to start, you know, reading up my annotations? Because I can, but I won't. But it's so descriptive. And so I think to go from that to this, I'm just like, but can we just get like anything about the world, please? Like, can we just get some descriptions of what things are looking like? Like, I mean, I know I have a good imagination, but I'm literally working with nothing here. I'm just having to create everything of how I want it, okay? Because we're describing what the males look like, but like, what about the landscape? Because yeah, there are things I'm interested in, like, again, interested in specific places like the Scorches and the Shallows, interested more. Okay, maybe I'm just being picky. Maybe I'm just like, this is my fault for going into this book after reading the books that I just did. For a brief second, when something was revealed in this book, I was like, like with the plot, I was just like, there is no way that we're doing this. There's no way, because if this is the case, I just feel like this is very lazy, because like, what do you mean? Like, was there no other ideas? I'm trying to say things, like I'm trying to give enough information, but vague enough that like, if you haven't really read the book, like you wouldn't know. But I also kind of want to give you like a heads up about like some of my thoughts and like things. One thing I do like is that honey has been like a common theme, and well, I mean, there are other things that could have been, but I don't know. I like that there is at least one thing linking all the books, and yeah, it's honey. Yeah, like the thing bears eat. Is this crooked or am I just crooked? Because I'm the crooked man.
And thus his crooked soul.
The Conjuring. I actually love the Conjuring multiverse, you know, with like all the Annabelle movies and the Nun and stuff. I don't know, I just find them so comforting. They're not scary, but I just find them so comforting to watch. Now, before I stop talking to you and before I actually go back to trying to force myself to read this, because the thing is, I just want to get this book done. Like, I'm in pain. I was like, oh yes, reading. I'm like, how many pages do I have left? But like, I can't DNF because this is like the last book in the trilogy. I want to know what's going to happen, but also I'm just like, yeah, I don't care, because I mean, I think I already know what's going to happen. So it's just really, in books, gone are the stakes, to be honest. I don't know why, I just like gone are the stakes. Okay, I'm being so dramatic, but I feel like in so many newer books, it's just, you know, everything is going to work out fine. So, and you kind of know where the author, especially if there's like any love triangle, like especially if you know where the author's going to go, and it's just like, could we get maybe a plot twist? We get like maybe like a plot twist, something like out of the ordinary that we didn't expect to happen. I think maybe we could have had that. I love when I'm expecting something to happen and it just doesn't, but I guess maybe no. I'm just like, well, I already know what's going to happen, so it's just, can we like hurry things along? And I think because there's like just not very many characters in this book series, and the reason why I say that is because I feel like in other fantasy books there's just like a million characters, so you know, people can die here, but like in this book series it's like, well, like who is there? Like in this book, who can? You know what I'm saying? One more thing that I'm going to say before I leave Kinney's book. There is, and I'm going to say this because I feel like this is something, I'm hoping I'm just being dramatic. There is something weird about the bloodlines and, you know, who is related to who. Because is there going to be an incest plotline? That is disgusting. I don't like incest. Like in VC Andrews' Flowers in the Attic, I feel like it's very clear that book is like not like a romance. It's very much you know, like disturbing and like really messed up because, you know, the mother locks these kids in the attic so she can actually, I never actually read the book, but I've seen the movie, because in the movie at least, the mom, because she wants to get the inheritance, but she can't get the inheritance because of the situation with the husband and the kids, and then blah 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 whatever, and then because the kids are like locked in this attic, I'm not going to it, right? But it's disturbing. This book series, it's a romantasy. Okay, why is my shoulder out? You scandalized? Okay. I'm just like, what? Because if that makes sense, and then if that is, why are authors randomly introducing incest? Why was there a need to introduce incest? Because is it going to be incest? It's disturbing. It's disturbing, okay? It did not have to, that did not have to happen. Like, you literally, I can't. So I'll update if there is actually incest in this, just because I feel like incest it's not just like is there a trigger warnings page? No, I've been reading too many dark romances where there's like trigger warnings a mile long. There's no trigger warnings here. But if there is actually incest in this, then I think people need to know, because it's just like, that is just not a topic you can just be like, surprise, incest. Like, no, there needs to be a warning, because like, what do you mean? And then I'll update later. I'm just in pain, I'm struggling, and I'm excited for when I can read Killer Instinct in this video, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be reading Killer Instinct. It's on there because I did pull it for my April TBR, and also it's a series, and I want to get back into it, and I feel like I haven't really read like a thriller in a while. I don't think I have actually read a thriller. Well, I feel like I've been reading a lot of like other genres, so I'm excited to get back into this, because the thing is, like, I love thrillers, but I feel like if I read too many, I just get bored and sick of them. So it's like a little treat, a little reward. So I'm excited for that. And then what are the other ones? Actually, I don't know. I feel like by now I will have already filmed my introduction, so you know what books I end up reading. But I don't. At this point, all I know is I'm reading this, potentially reading Killer Instinct. Don't know about the I have some ideas, but I don't know if we're gonna be good or not. I rambled enough. Wait, I just saw 1313 on my timer. I wonder what angel number that means. Whatever angel number 1313 is relating to this. Bear with me. 1313 is often interpreted as a sign of transformation, new beginnings, and following your intuition. So I guess let's see if that links with this book. The rest of it, at least. How many pages is in this? 523 pages. For a 500-page book, so far we have gotten, like, no descriptions of the landscape. Well, I guess it's my fault. I'm pausing because I'm on page 393. I've got less than 150 pages left, and she's just been given the storybox situation, and I have a feeling that is going to be the cause of some reveals. I don't know why, I just feel like it is, because it's a lot of like unanswered things, and you know, things need to start getting revealed. But I thought that before I go outside, finish the rest of this book, and then drink my coffee. It actually tastes so good. I made it slightly differently today. It's not unknown that this author took a lot of inspiration from a lot of other books in the first two books. In my video I made last year, I went through things. The main one for me that I found with the first book was The Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter That Was Stolen, the selection series, The Red Queen, aspects of the Hunger Games, etc, etc. And I don't know why, but I kind of thought that that was going to be like done. However, as I'm reading this, well, as I was reading this, there was specifically a few things, and I'm just like, this is literally The Serpent and Wings of Night. Like, okay, it wasn't exactly, but I was like, this is so much like The Serpent and Wings of Light, The Serpent and Wings of Light, The Serpent and Wings of Night. And I'm just like, and that book itself already isn't the most original. So it's just like, last night I was feeling mean. You know, I was feeling so mean. I was like, this book is cringy, it's boring, it's dragged out, I don't care about anything. I actually am starting to care. Like, right now I'm actually excited to finish this book, just because I kind of want to know what's going to happen. Like, I want to know the ending and like how things are going to unfold. Also, don't mind my nails. I'm in the process of like repainting them. I think I'm gonna go like purple, pink, and blue because I feel like they're pastel-y Easter colors. There's a specific situation that happened with a character that was very prevalent in Powerful, which if you read the novella you'll know. And there's a situation with that and I was just like, okay. It was like a very tender moment and I was like, wait, I appreciate that. So that's when I started getting like actually invested and I didn't just feel like I'm so bored right now. Now in that video that I made last year, I did have a hypothesis about a specific character who was very prevalent in Powerful. Their name starts with an M. I had a hypothesis about them and I was very wrong. I was so wrong. So I just had to say that because I was, you know, in that, because that was a spoiler reading vlog, I was just so much like, wait, I thought that like, but I was wrong. I was actually like quite choked up, specifically in chapter 37. If you know the book, you'll know. It's quite dramatic. The characters are quite dramatic. So for example, like just a specific example, you know, the whole my soul is stained with death, like it's very dramatic. So I suppose if you don't really like that, you might not like this. Now I was really pleased with how I thought something was going and I was like, wait, I was not expecting this. I definitely underestimated the author. Like I didn't think that like she was going to take this direction. I was so happy and then I was like, oh wait, never mind, I take that back. I'm not happy about how that went because remember we were talking about it last night, like it's so hard to say things that spoiling. We're going in a direction and I was like, I wasn't expecting that. Then we didn't go in that direction. Then we went in a different direction and I was like, oh wait, no, I actually like that. And then now, technically, my hypothesis that I had in that spoiler reading vlog, it's right. Like chapter 49 and 50, that's, if you want to know kind of what I'm talking about. All I'm saying is Reign of Evangeline. Really, we are on the home stretch. We're almost finished this book. I have a feeling that there are things that are going to be revealed, which is why I just had to pause to kind of give you my updates thus far because I don't want to be sitting on this piece of such information of like this big reveal and then have to like pretend that I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of odd that I stopped in like literally the middle of the page. I didn't start the page, just literally in the middle of the page. I'm going to go outside now and read and then when I finish this book I will update you. You know, because last night I was feeling so many, I was like, this is 1 star. Like I cannot imagine myself giving it any more than 1 star, but now I'm starting to think, okay, maybe like I definitely 5 stars is completely out of the question. 4 stars, no, cannot be 4 stars. So I'm thinking definitely maybe like 2 to 3 star, maybe even 3.5. I don't know, I guess we'll see. It depends how they take the incest plotline. Okay, big one. This was so unnecessary. Like, okay, it's time for me to do a little bit of an update because I've just come to the consensus about like which books I will be reading for this series video because initially when I first started it, I didn't know, but now I do. So we have Fearless, which I have finished and I'm going to get to my final thoughts for that. We also have Killer Instinct by Jennifer Barnes and I'm on chapter 18 for that. I started this book last night after I finished this. And then we have Zodiac Academy. Now this book I am slowly making my way through, but also my local library has this like graphic audiobook, so when I'm not physically reading it, say for example I'm driving or I'm doing chores, I am planning on listening to it. Because I started listening to a little bit of it and it's kind of like a movie in your mind, especially because like they laugh, like when they laugh, that the people doing the voice narration, they laugh as well. Now I don't know like how much I'm gonna listen to because there are some parts where I'm like, it's like they'll give this like evil villain laugh and I'm just like, okay. So let's talk about these 3 books here, right? Just give you my final thoughts and then give you my like current thoughts and yeah. I'm ending up giving this book 3 stars. I will admit, the incest plotline, there was a specific phrase. There was a specific phrase that was, those 2 sentences should not be together. There was like, I mean, I get it, and it makes sense, because I just, still, I'm just like, was this really needed? Like, did those lines have to be said? This book, it was okay. It was okay. It's definitely not my favorite out of the series. To be honest, I honestly think the first one was my favorite, even though it was literally mixed in with so many other things, just because I think I was literally coming off like a month's long reading slump when I read that book, and I think I just read it at the right time. And yeah, so that's that. But I think, I don't know, like, I would say if you're like a very, very, very beginner into fantasy, like very beginner, like you've never read any fantasy, like this could be a series. But also I think there are other books that you could read instead that like this series took a lot of inspiration from, you know. But that is that. I'm gonna go to the spoiler section now because I actually need a yap. Now let's talk about Killer Instinct. So this is the second book in the Natural series, where basically, yes, YA Criminal Minds. I am very interested in this book series, and I'm actually really enjoying my time reading this book so far, because it's just very fast paced, it's very entertaining, very short, snappy chapters. I will say, all the characters in this book, like the people in this sort of like, because basically there's this group and the FBI recruited them, and they all have abilities. I'll get to that in a second. And their abilities help them solve cases. You know, we have a human lie detector, we have 2 profilers, we have a encyclopedia, we'll get to that in a second, we have someone who can read emotions, and they're tasked to solving cold cases, not active cases. But somehow there's always active cases, and it always gets like, I don't like when you can see this shirt underneath the hoodies, like, and that all like links up. When I first heard that they had abilities, I was like, is this some like superhero academy? No, it is not like that. It's literally, there's no superhero-ness at all, because that's like what really turned off the series. Because I literally, when people say they have abilities, I was like, so they're superheroes. And I was thinking like, you know, invisibility, can walk through walls, things like that. No, that's not the case. Maybe I should put this up here. So you're gonna say, okay. It is so interesting. It's so addicting to read. I just think it's so funny because there is literally a mention of an enforcer, the role of enforcer. Isn't that so funny? Like, that's the book I read directly afterwards, and they're talking about enforcers. Okay, I'm really interested in Dean. He's one of the characters. I'm interested in Dean's backstory and like everything. I'm not going to explain why, but I'm very interested in his backstory because it feels very complex. This book though, it is very YA. Like, it over explains like everything. So something will be said and then it will just be like repeated, but just in a different way to make sure that you know, which I expect from like a YA book, because they want to make sure that nothing is going over your head, I guess. But like, everything is literally said. You cannot be like, hang on, does this mean this? Because the next sentence will just be like telling you, yes, you're right. Like, literally, like Criminal Minds, because Sloane, okay, Sloane, she's Las Vegas, born and raised. She wins every hand she plays, right, in poker. Then we have Spencer from Criminal Minds. He's literally banned from every casino in Vegas. He's so intelligent, spitting off random facts. So is Sloane. So I'm just like, I know what that is. I see what you're doing there. So anyways, I'm really interested in this. Page 130, and I'm just like reading it. It's just like such like an interesting, like, just especially like the specific active case, like right now, it feels wrong to say interesting, but there are some things that are tying to the past, and a college girl has been killed in this like very specific niche way, and so there's, you know, been a few like college settings and everything. Okay, now let's talk about Zodiac Academy. So first of all, this book is lovely. Like, I love how it's like shiny, and then it's got like lots of like pretty. Welcome to Zodiac Academy. Note to all students, vampire bites, loss of limbs, or getting lost in the Wailing Wood will not count as a valid excuse for being late to class. I don't know why, but like, I feel like it's trying to give some like Hogwarts vibes. You know, we are following Tori and Darcy. They are sisters. They live in Roth. And I imagine where they live as, what is it, Slaughter Race from Wreck-It Ralph, the Ralph Breaks the Internet. I'm imagining this place, the orange haze, things are not going very well, it's violent, lots of crimes. Anyway, then this professor guy shows up and whisks them away to this Hogwarts-esque school where everyone has elemental powers, you know, water, air, earth, fire, and both sisters have all 4, which is so rare. Like, that just does not happen. I don't know how much I can say. Okay, never mind. It literally says there, heir to a throne and nothing about. So yeah, they're both heirs to this throne. When they graduate, if they graduate, they get all their fortune and everything associated with that. And also because they are struggling financially, this could change everything for them. However, because they're heirs, but they were living in the human world. So instead of these people, there were this group of guys, 4 guys, they're called the Celestial Heirs. Heirs. I hate that there's a random H at the beginning of it. I just don't have the random H there. But the Celestial Heirs, they're going to get everything, but then if the sisters get it, then they're going to get kicked off. So they are being very mean to them. And I think this is where the bullying is going to start, because already some like bullying type things have started to happen. And I'm like, if things are only going to ramp up, oh dear. The writing is very simplistic. It's very Wattpad-y. It's also like, the writing is not that serious. Like, they use words like bae. Hey girl, just so you know, my bae is in charge. So long as you get that, we're totally cool. Okay. You will reply with yes, alpha. He literally makes her say, yes, alpha. Okay. But I am on chapter 6. I feel like the chapters are like quite, well, they're not like necessarily like overly long, but they're pretty long. I don't really mind though. And yeah, so basically all that I have left to read is these 2 books. And I feel like if I just read, I can get them done by next week. Because guess what, guys? It's the 19th of April. So I'm very proud of myself that I've actually started this video earlier, because normally it's like near the end of the month and I'm like, hi. So I want to get this, yeah. Because I like getting through the series. Okay, so that is everything I have to say so far. I will update you when I have more. I can see some small strawberries. I'm also reading Zodiac Academy, the first book. I ended up finishing Killer Instinct, and there were so many parts of this book, it feels wrong to say, but it felt informative, especially in terms of killers and the specific types of killers. One thing that I do like about Jennifer Lynn Barnes is it feels like every single thing that she mentions as an author at the start of the book, in the middle of the book, even in the first book, everything is purposeful, because everything always links all together. There are no loose ends. Well, at least I haven't picked up any loose ends, but also I'm not really, scouring for loose ends. If I notice them, I notice them. But yeah, I feel like everything is so purposeful with what she mentions. However, I will just say I hate love triangles, and this book is no exception. I despise the love triangle in this book. I do. I despised it in the Inheritance Games. I didn't like it. I wasn't happy with it. I didn't like how everything was, because I just don't like love triangles. I don't. So I don't like love triangles. Am I shaking? Maybe I should put this here. I was filming a different thing, and I should actually update you. Let's put this down here. I need to remember that this book series is YA though, because not for the love triangle stuff. I don't care about that. I mean specifically for like the specific suspenseful scenes that are written that have your heart racing and you feel not scared, but the intention is to feel scared. The intention is to feel worried about like what is going to happen. How is our main character going to get through this? Because there was one specific scene, and like, not gonna lie, my heart was racing. I was just like thinking, hang on a second. But I felt like it was just over so quickly, so I couldn't even really get the suspenseful moments that I was, hoping to get. But I also have to remind myself that like it is YA, so obviously it can't be like, like it has to be tamed down. I do wish it could be longer though, but I understand why it could not have been. The first specific scene that actually, in specific movies, there have been not like similar scenes, but like, I don't know how to say it without spoiling anything, but in Kiss the Girls, there was a very particular scene, and like that was like very heart-racing, because it's like, how are they supposed to get like a different situation in The Wrong Turn, the first Wrong Turn. I love that movie, and I feel like it could have been done more drawn out in this one. Honestly, this book had a lot of really surprising, wholesome moments where honestly like a tear, not gonna lie, I had a tear in the corner of my eye, and it was enough of a tear to like slide down really dramatically, like I'm in a sad music video and like staring out the window and it's raining outside. It's actually raining outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Maybe it's not, but there was torrential rain tonight. Like, and I was running on the roads because it was raining so much. And it's like, which is why my hair is like this. Yesterday, my hair was so like nice and straight. And then even today, like when I first went out, it wasn't like this. And then now it's this. Okay. I really do appreciate the character development in these books. I love seeing it, especially in the side characters. I love seeing how everything pans out. This book definitely did make me very excited for the next one. I basically almost wanted to read the next one immediately after. I like it much better than Inheritance Games, and I am settling on a 4 stars for this book because I really liked it, and I just feel like, yeah, 4 stars. I definitely feel if I was younger, I would have probably, this would have been maybe like a 10 star. Okay, that's really dramatic. But I'm glad that I picked this up when I did, but I definitely think if I was younger, I would have appreciated and liked it more. But that is all my thoughts for this book right here. So I'm gonna go now, and yes, but I really did love this book. Okay, there has been a passage of time, and I have not updated you in the ways that I should have so far for this book right here. I'm trying to get caught up on all the videos that I have filmed but have not edited yet, and this is one of them. And I'm like, okay, hang on a second. What? Where are my thoughts? I haven't told you them. So, okay, let's begin. Okay, this book definitely gives, oh, the ring light is gonna annoy me. Okay, it definitely gives like Wattpad-y cringe vibes. You know, you saw the alpha stuff, just the way certain things were said. There were a lot of parts where I was like, ew. But also there is this very, I don't know, there's something in this book that just makes you want to just like not stop reading. It's very addicting, it's very bingeable. You want to keep reading, you want to keep listening, whatever medium you are consuming this book on. It's like you just don't want to stop because it's just like, what is going to happen next? Like one of the sisters, Darcy, she has blue tipped hair. Like the bottom of her hair is tip blue, which I definitely think, I don't know exactly when this book was written, but I feel like that is a testament to the kind of era this book was in. This says copyright 2019, but I just feel like it's not. I feel like this book had to have been so much earlier than that. Like I'm thinking the early 2010s. Like that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. The elements and all that is very interesting. The different like, hello. The school is very interesting. The whole concept is very interesting. I'm trusting that I did actually tell you what this book is about. They do have like different social media, so they have like Facebook. Okay. And some of the stuff that happens on there is wild. Yeah, literally a lot of the time when you're reading it's like, what the hell is going on? Like when a teacher just randomly starts drinking a kid's blood because the kid is all like, wait, don't you have to ask permission first for drinking blood? And then the professor just drinks his blood just right there. There is this kid and he gets his head cracked on the table. And also some parts I was listening to the audiobook, but it was dramatized, so you literally hear the crack, and then there is this dramatic music in the background.
In a surge of movement, he cracked Tyler's head against his desk.
This book, you know, because it is set at this school, humiliation rituals, this extreme hazing that happens. When, you know, poor Darcy and Tori, so much they get knocked down quite a lot, and they don't have the capacity to kind of like stand up for themselves at the beginning, so it's just like they're just getting dragged, and you really want them to get revenge because like things are just very horrible for them. Like the people are so mean to them, everyone is so mean to them. This book does in fact end on a cliffhanger, which does make you want to immediately go into the next one. However, I was feeling kind of like a mental block. I don't know why. I need to read the next one. I have the next one. No, this is the third one actually, but I want to read it and I'm very interested in it. But like this book series is a series, like I didn't hate my time reading this. Like I definitely think it's like 3 stars around that category because I'm interested and I want to know what's going on. And also sometimes it just needs something that's going to like turn your mind off and you don't have to think too deeply about, and you don't have to be like, I wonder what that means, because it's just like, just fun. It's just, yeah, kind of like it was reminding me of reading Wattpad. Just the nature of the way things were described. And, you know, is the writing the best? No. Everyone in the school is a beast. Well, bye-bye, life. It was nice knowing you. like that's kind of like, oh, is everything all blurry? That's going to actually annoy me. I'm sorry. Hell, I really am Faye. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of writing style. Wait, hang on, let me just open to a random page. What the hell do you want? Darius snarled, pushing himself up to a sitting position so he could throw the full weight of his scowl at me. Do you have a pirate fetish or something? So, that's that. Did I actually enjoy my time reading this? Yeah, honestly, I did. Like, it wasn't the best, but I was very intrigued and I'm interested into the next one and the next one. And I feel like I might actually grow to like actually really like this series. So I guess we'll see. That is what I have for you tonight. If you somehow have made it to the end of this video, I just wanted to say thank you so very much. But it is time for the spoiler section of Fearless, and I'm going to be very honest, I go immediately into it. I literally immediately spoil something completely major. There's no warning. It's just simply me stating the most major spoiler. So if you really don't want to know what it is, I would highly recommend that you do not watch, because you will be spoiled. Like, I don't just give little minor spoilers. No. Like, I spoil everything that I wanted to talk about at the time that I read it. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have gone by now if you don't want to be spoiled, because yeah, like I actually do, and I don't want that to happen. Okay? Someone's been in my room messing with my books, I can tell. Why is that like that? I don't put those books there. Someone's been in my room. Those books there. Why is Fangs hanging out? Why is that there? Why is Butcher and Blackbird hanging out? What is missing? Okay, I'm gonna go investigate that. And in the meantime, yes, spoiler section now. I'm just gonna give one final countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, spoilers now. So Kit dies at the end, right? Now, I am pleasantly surprised. Okay, that sounds so messed up, but I didn't think that this author was gonna actually kill off people. Like, she killed off Adina, and then in Reckless completely forgot about Adina. But in this book, at least Adina is mentioned quite a lot. I will say though, like, at the end, when Peyton had a dream about Adina, like, I thought I was gonna sob. I thought there was, like, because I sobbed in Powerful, I did. But I felt like there was going to be this long dream and they're gonna have a conversation, but it was just wasn't. And I was like, wow, I was really preparing to sob in this dream, and then there was just nothing. So I think that Mac should definitely had more. When I found out that Mac was the one who died in place of Kai, I was just like, I was not expecting that. I wasn't. But the way that he's now in the stars, because I literally thought that he died. I also thought he already died. I was expecting this man to have already died. That's what they're talking about, the stars, whatever. So it's like, oh yeah, Ray and Evangeline. Well, guess what? It is Ray and Evangeline, because they're the stars. And then at the end, when Kit is in, like, you know, when Kit's in the death chamber, they talk to him, Adina and Mac, from the stars. Well, I'm assuming it's them, because they're always talking about the stars, because I'm just like, yeah, they're literally Ray and Evangeline from, you know, Prince and the Frog. Yeah, again, I just think that the incest line was like, it was weird. It didn't have to be included. But okay, that's what I have for this book.